Okay, so an installer, does someone just go to school to become an installer? I didn't even know this was a category of contractor. Like, is that?
It varies, right? It depends on if it's like if you're a water heater installer, you got to be a plumber in most states. So um, we develop a lot in house as well. So we're more focused on the person than the what they can do, right? So I'd rather have someone with the heart and the will than the know-how in the moment, right? We can teach you how to be an installer. We can't teach you how to show up to work. We can't teach you how to interact with the customers properly. So we look more for that. So we do a whole lot of like homegrown, if you will, where we'll go out and we'll help train you. We'll help get you to that next level. So appliances, things like that. It's mostly handyman kind of services. So um, we'll try to find someone that knows how to use a drill or knows how to use tools, right? And then we can kind of tweak it from there. But yeah, I mean, it varies.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Tim and Robert Crume. They are friends of mine from Rise Up Kings, and they have a really cool business that I'm excited to learn a little bit more about today. With installations, they have a couple huge clients, and my question's always the same, guys. So tell us a little bit of the story. How did you guys get into the business?
Yeah, so we both actually kind of grew up in the business. So both of our dads were plumbers. Our grandpa was a plumber. My dad started knowing the installation world when I was little, so I used to go with him on like summer breaks and ride with him installing like appliances or water heaters, just various different things. And then Robert started working with my dad when my dad ran the company.
And
And
it was like early 2001
yeah,
when I started with him.
yeah,
So,
I was still going to high school. So '05, I ended up riding with him and learning a lot of the tricks that he did to be more efficient in the install world. And then I took over from my dad probably coming up on 10 years. 10 years ago, we were kind of small mom and pop back then. We had a few stores local here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I got the right people in the right places and started growing the business. And Robert came back in with me, and we exploded. So we're in about 400 and close to 450 stores right now in about 13 different states. We average probably 10,000 jobs a week that we install for. So appliances, windows, doors, water heaters, all kinds of various things. We're in roofing now. We started a new business doing roofing.
I think it's just six categories at this point.
Hmm.
So six categories, over 475 installers. So
So I go to Lowe's, right?
Yep.
I buy a new washer dryer, and
Mm,
then, or what would it be?
more
What do you?
dishwasher. Think
yeah,
built in. So like a
Okay.
dishwasher,
more
an over the range
complex.
microwave, anything that they can drop like a refrigerator, that's a delivery service. So us, it's more like we remove your old dishwasher, we install the new dishwasher. If you get new windows in your house or new doors or your water heater goes out, yeah, you go to Lowe's, you buy the product, pay for the install. Then our company gets all the paperwork. We do the scheduling, contact you, come out, perform the work, and that's about it.
I think the best way
Te-
the best way to think about it is it's more simple delivery, simple installs, meaning it's plug and play, pull out, pull in. Whereas ours is more complex installs, which was more leading to what he was talking about as far as dishwashers and something like that. So like a dishwasher is harder to install than taking out a refrigerator and put a refrigerator in. So be more of that skill.
So, but now I can go to Lowe's and get a new roof, right? I can just pick out
Yep.
the shingles and you guys will come and do the roof for me.
Yep.
Huh? What
We,
states?
we
Remind
just
me.
got into that. So
Okay. What states are you in the Midwest, right?
Yes. So we go from like Ohio, Indiana, kind of straight down, right? Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky.
South Carolina, Alabama.
Yep.
All right. And okay, I just can't get over 10,000 jobs a week. Like that must be a logistical nightmare. So how do you guys manage, how do you manage all of those jobs going on in a 5-day window?
Yes. So our people, you can't say our business without talking about the people that make it up. We actually do a lot with a little. We've got lots of software, lots of technology, and people that go through and they're routing jobs, right? So like we've got different departments where some people like do scheduling, they'll schedule it, and then we've got technology that comes out with text messages, automated calls to confirm customers. The installers have apps on their phones, so a whole lot of tech to streamline everything. I tell everyone our company does what most installers don't like doing, right? Like the phone calls, the paperwork, all of the technology. We make that easy for them. So all they got to do is go out, do the job, head to the next one. So it's really streamlining the processes and putting the right tech and the right people in front of it.
That's our biggest sell too. When we're bringing on people from an installer standpoint, that literally is our biggest sell. Hey, instead of working 60 hours a week, 20 of that scheduling your own customers, calling them, and doing all that other stuff. Hey, what if I got you like the 35, 40 hours, and all you're doing is installing, and you're making the same amount of money? That's the best way to sell the model, and that's the model that's been working for us ever since the beginning of it. So.
Okay, so an installer, does someone just go to school to become an installer? I didn't even know this was a category of contractor. Like, is that?
It varies, right? It depends on if it's like, if you're a water heater installer, you got to be a plumber in most states. So we develop a lot in-house as well. So we're more focused on the person than the what they can do, right? So I'd rather have someone with the heart and the will than the know-how in the moment, right? We can teach you how to be an installer. We can't teach you how to show up to work. We can't teach you how to interact with the customers properly. So we look more for that. So we do a whole lot of like homegrown, if you will, where we'll go out and we'll help train you. We'll help get you to that next level. So appliances, things like that. It's mostly handyman kind of services. So, we'll try to find someone that knows how to use a drill or knows how to use tools, right? And then we can kind of tweak it from there. But yeah, I mean, it varies.
And how much of your business is the Lowe's like deal versus like just kind of independent stuff that comes in through other types of funnels?
Most all of our work comes from them just because it's so much. And we've dabbled outside of it. There's something to a big box that can't pack their tools up and leave, right? So you go to Lowe's, they're not going to pack their store up and disappear. Like if somebody comes in and takes a draw on a job and then never shows back up. So a lot of people trust it. They've got all the financing, the advertising, the marketing. We don't have to worry about that, right? We just get the job. It's already paid for. We don't have to chase the money. We just go out and make sure we do a good job for the customer, do a good job for Lowe's, and get the next job.
Do you ever worry about, like, God forbid, Lowe's, like, they get mad at me or that something goes wrong? Like, that would make me super nervous,
That's
all the time.
That's why we grew, and we grew a lot. Lowe's will never need us per se because they're a giant. But when it comes to the install world, we're a giant.
Hard.
Yeah.
We made the decision hard for them to be able to. Plus, all too, we do a great job, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason why we're as big as we are. We take care of not just our customer, we take care of Lowe's, which is our biggest customer. So, we do everything that we do is surrounded around their model of what they're looking for, and then taking that and then going the next level above to say, hey, we want to be your premier installer, and that's why we've grown as big as we have.
So you don't have to tell me any like specific details, but just kind of overall sales from the last year or top line revenue, something like that to give people the sense of the size.
Yep. So last year we did about 48 million gross. This year we're projected to do about 56. And by the end of next year, so 2026, I would say we'll be up close to 60 or above just by the new stuff we brought on in the last few months.
Okay.
Once we get a full year of that.
Okay. Man, I didn't know installing was such big business. That's awesome. So, okay. My next question is, well, let's talk about like, okay, so going back to, obviously the business, what would you guys say your secret sauce is? Like if you said, hey, here's what makes us different or better. Is it your people? Is it your process? What's the thing?
Culture is number one. Culture creates everything, right? So if you want a good customer experience, that stems from the culture you create and the people that you're putting in their homes. Technology and good processes, right? So everyone that is running my business today essentially has been in the field in some manner. So, when I started out, I was bringing in buddies and different people and training them how to install. And then while I was still installing, they were installing. And then as we progressed, it was like, okay, let's get into more of the management field. So we started doing meetings. So everyone came from the ground up. So like if I ask you to go do something, I've done it. if an installer called me right now about an issue on a job, I can answer that as the owner of the company because I did it. And so can every other level of management that we've got. And then just creating an environment that you can't get anywhere, not money driven at all. I've never been that way. My team has never been that way. We care about the people. And when you care about the people care about the business. So that's number one for sure. Technology, we're always leaning in, trimming fat, trying to make the processes better, streamline things, making it where the installers can get home with their families instead of being out late every single night because an app's not working or something silly is happening. Really just putting the people in front of it, people over profit. And then when you do that, I mean, we didn't have P&Ls, RUC when I went through RUC and I did the extra day for business owners and they were talking about P&Ls. I had just started doing like QuickBooks after we were in the 40s of $40 million plus. And I've never really paid attention to the margins and all the other stuff. Right. So, because I never cared. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, now it's careless for me not to care, but we're still not managing it from that level. We're managing it from, are we taking care of the people? We overpay 90% of the people that work for us, and I have zero issues with that. I got people answering phones at $25 plus an hour and full benefits, and I'm not capping them. Like, if I can get them to $30 an hour, let's do that because the people is what makes it happen.
Okay, so on pace to be a $60 million company within the next 18 months-ish. What are some sticking points that you guys feel like you're having? Like, what are some barriers you're trying to overcome or things that you're like trying to solve for in your business right now?
Say system right now. So we're doing a transition from the current system that we're on to a new system that we spent over $1 million at this point for the new system we're on. So very excited for that. I think that's the biggest hurdle, which is getting that thing launched. I think it's been in process for probably over 14 months now. So about 14 months to develop. So it was a bigger undertaking than we had thought. We had built the current system we have over the past eight years. He started it. I kind of took it over and we just grew that thing out with all kinds of different models of just making the business easier. Not realizing how much we actually put into that particular model that we currently have with our current system. So then trying to emulate that into the new system that we're building out has been a pretty big undertaking. So I would say that right now is probably our biggest one, but that should be launching here in about next month or two. And I think once that thing gets launched, so we can actually handle the speed of what we're currently not getting now with our current system, I think it's going to help us even more than we currently are.
Yep.
Is that a new system in terms of like a CRM and project management tool, or what do you mean by system?
Yeah, it's every aspect, right? So we'll be able to manage all of the jobs, the scheduling, the automated calls, really everything from start to finish, even payroll, paying out the subs.
Well, even contacting the customer is going to be a lot easier too. So we're using a lot of third-party systems to do a lot of the contacting to the customer. Actually, we're probably using two systems now just to contact the customer via phone call and text message, where the new system would pretty much do it under one current system under that environment. So.
Yeah, our original system was it had a shoebox, right? It was this fits everyone, and then we built off of that. The new one that we're building is from scratch. Like we started from the ground up. So it's definitely it's like any other tech piece that you do. It costs more than you wanted it to, and it takes longer to build than you wanted it to. But we're seeing good strides. So yeah, I'd say that is definitely, it's not necessarily a challenge. It's more or less like, man, we really want to get this out. So then we can start debugging it, right? And start figuring out what works, what doesn't work. But it's going to allow everyone to work even more efficiently than they are now. We're not going to have to worry about system speeds, or right now we'll fill up our storage capacity very quickly because there's so much data coming in and out. So being able to do that is going to allow us to continue to scale, but do it in a way that is easier on everybody.
Well, the other thing too is the new system is going to allow us to incorporate AI a lot more too.
Yeah.
So the current system we have has zero AI capability. So with the new system, and we can AI the absolute crap out of the new system and make things so much easier from start to finish, from a reporting standpoint to, giving the installers, the customers more of an AI viewpoint, so they can go to their homepage and be able to ask questions and have AI pretty much generate the answer based upon obviously what we're feeding it, which we don't currently have now.
That's awesome. So it's interesting. You said something earlier that reminded me of a business principle that I've always stuck to. But if it's twice as expensive, it takes twice as long, and I make half the money, I'll still do the deal because it's always twice half.
Oh,
And you just
100%.
said it's basically it's taking you twice as long as you thought. It's twice as expensive, but it's going to be so worth it in the long run.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
what about skilled labor? I would think with all of the deals you guys do every week, is that not an issue for you?
It is and it isn't. So we are much more on the model of help smaller businesses or mom and pops grow, right? With our support and our structure, we can take, let's say you had an install business and you had 3 people. If you were the old me, right? Like when I started doing this, I had 3 to 5 people and it was me, and I didn't know how to get to that next level, right? So we would come in and say, hey, we're going to take a cut and we're going to support you. You get all of our management, all of our tech, all of our office. You get everything. Now let's grow you. And, we can help you come in and grow. So doing that's helped us scale tremendously. And it's allowed the people that we bring in to scale, which is a really, really cool thing to watch. You watch companies that's been around for 10 to 20 years and they've got 5 people and they're doing okay. They're making a living. And then we come in and we're paying some of these people $5 million a year now where they were making $500,000 a year before. So when we do that, it's really a trust thing and it's a people thing. They got to fit the culture. They got to fit the everything that we stand for. We need them to stand for. Otherwise you lose quality to the customer. So we're super selective on who we'll bring in, and we're easy to, we'll unplug and plug someone else in if needed. If it doesn't, we'll put a bunch of money and time and effort into making it work. But if it doesn't work, we're not going to ruin our brand over it. So we went that model, and then just speaking who we are, telling people, we don't tell them like, hey, we're going to make you rich or we're going to do this. We're going to say, we care. We want you to make money. We want to give you the tools that you need to do it, and we'll help you. And a lot of people want that. So it's pretty easy to get them in.
That's a great
That's a
point. I mean,
great,
I would say there's
yeah.
probably 5 companies that we've definitely grown
Oh, yeah.
over $1 million just with that model, and it helps us out at
That,
the same time too. So
that's a great word. So my other podcast, The Builder's Bible, I talk to construction guys all the time, and
Yeah.
skilled labor is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I love what you guys are doing. You're allowing their business to grow under your business,
Yep.
and so they can still. It's kind of separate but equal, kind of in a way. They can grow under your enterprise and your umbrella. I like that.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about AI for a second. So, you guys kind of alluded to it with your new system. What are some ways that you are using it currently, and what are some ways that you feel like you could be using it that you're not?
So spreadsheets, data, it's amazing for data. What would take us days or weeks to filter through, it can do it in 20 seconds. So we use it a whole lot for that, building out different processes, right? Where, everybody's got in their mind how they want something to go, but putting it on paper, it's hard to sometimes get it out. So, when all of us use it this way in the office, I started pushing it immediately to all my entire organization. I'm like, get ChatGPT, get an account, and just start feeding it information. Like if you're thinking about something, tell it to ask you questions. So I use it a whole lot. Like, hey, I'm wanting to build this, or I want to get the result of this. Start asking me qualifying or clarifying questions to get what I'm trying to get to out on paper. And we'll just go back and forth and build out a model, right? We also are incorporating it into the new system to where it can be, like Robert was saying, more streamlined. If the customer wants to know their schedule date, they don't have to scroll or try to find the box or an email. They can go to the portal, they can put in their phone number or whatever and just ask it like, hey, when is my schedule date? And it can pull it. Same thing with the scheduling coordinators or our CSRs. If a customer has a question, they can type it in, and you're talking speed to customer. Everything speed to customer, right? The faster you can get to the customer, the better job you can do, the quicker you can make them happy. It's a better experience for everyone. So everything we do has the customer at the end of it on like, hey, this is the end result. The better, quicker, and faster we can get there, the better we look and the better name that we have. But we can't just push speed without quality. And AI is really allowing us to be able to bring quality and speed together at once.
That's amazing. What are some ways that you feel like you could be using it that you're not? So obviously you're going to be using it for some customer service, some basic inquiries, handling tickets. What are some other areas of your business you're like, I think AI could help me here, but I'm not really doing anything with it.
probably scheduling right now.
Scheduling
Yeah.
and phone calls.
Yeah, I was going to say, even what he was saying earlier. I mean, right now, most of our most of our customer service reps and scheduling coordinators are definitely using AI for their for emails. They'll structuring out an email that's a little more professional sounding. It's definitely a huge home run for them. But I think once we get into a new system and we can incorporate AI from a scheduling standpoint, it's going to make their job so much easier because then we can just take the routes and say, hey, here's the zip codes of the areas I want to do. Here's the categories that I want to do, and then here's the installers. And then running that through AI and having AI generate routes is going to be a huge home run for us. It's going to cut down on so much time. It's going to give them more time to be able to dig into other things other than just routing, which is going to make our business much more productive and more profitable at the end of the day.
For sure.
That's good. What's something we haven't talked about today that you guys want to talk about? What, gets you fired up that's not necessarily related to the business?
I mean, you always talk about Rise Up Kings. I mean,
I encourage it. Half the guys I have on this podcast are Rise Up Kings guys. So yeah, anything pillar wise or, events, the forge, anything, is fair game.
Yeah, I would say for us, I mean, you can probably take over this more than I can, but for us, I mean, Tim's done a great job. He went through Ruck, I think last January,
April of 20.
Oh, sorry, he went to the Forge in January. So April of 24, and he's done a great job of, instilling in us how important Ruck was for him, and then allowing us to go through the experience as well, right? So the company's pretty much sponsored all of our upper management to go through Rise Up Kings through the first level. And man, you talk about culture, right? The culture of our business is so much different now because now everybody's on the same page. Everybody understands the 4 pillars and not just applying that to their personal life, but that floods over into our professional lives as well. So, from an office standpoint, we're able to communicate a heck of a lot better. There's not so much more friction in the office where you can actually have a hard conversation with somebody without feeling like you're going to, hurt their feelings or, just conversations in general are just a lot more easier now. And, not that we didn't care before, but we care even more about each other because of Ruck, because Ruck just opens up that part of your life that, you didn't realize that you had in you. Right. So,
yeah. Yeah. When I went through refinery in 24, life-changing, like I'm sure it was for you and everyone else that's probably been on here. And when I came back, I was on fire, right? Like you come back, like you're gonna change the world the day of. So everybody's looking at me like, who is this guy? And, just the way I talk to people and the way that, I would look at him and just be like, hey, can I give you some feedback? And of course he's like,
no.
And I'm like, all right.
I say, by the way, whenever anybody asks, I say no now. So, nope.
So I was like, all right, how can I do this? So I got with Skylar and talked to him. I was like, man, here's what I want to do. I want to take all of the men that work for me in the office, and I want to ask them if they want to go. Obviously, I can't tell them too much of what we do there, but I told them what I got from it and said, look, fully paid, fully sponsored, all you got to do is say yes, I'll handle the rest. So everybody said yes. Everybody went through. We've sent some of our bigger pros, our Christmas party we gave away 3 fully paid Ruck packages last year. And then now I'm actually sending the first group of 8 of our women that work in the office through Rise Up Queens next month, and then the other half of them in April of next year. So doing that has really allowed us to the culture, right? We've all want to shift it and have the same goal in mind. For me, I've put a whole lot more faith into my personal life, which flows into my business life, which I want to be kind of that pivot, right? I want to sprinkle some faith into what an already good business is. Doing that, sending all the guys through, they came back, we do Bible study on Mondays. We openly, discuss Bible verses. We talk about things, we pray, we do everything in the office. So, and majority of everyone in there is faith-based. So now the women are getting ready to go through Queens and come back. So I'm watching the ship turn more towards that faith pillar, which is a really, really, really cool, very satisfying thing to be a part of.
That's so good. Yeah, I sent my 2 sales guys through Ruck, one for my AI business, one for my VA business. And what I didn't expect, so I just cared about them. I was like, I want to see these guys be transformed. It was so transformative for me. But one of the unexpected consequences, they came back with so much more buy-in and vision for the company and their role. I was like, oh, this is nice. I didn't mean this, but that's what happened. You know?
I said constantly, this is not a Crume Installations thing. You can say no. This is because I love you as a person. And to your point, the overflow from the changing the person changed the person that comes back into the business as well. So you do get to reap those benefits but it's never, it's a God thing. It's never a like, hey man, you go do this so you can be a better VP for me. Like, no, you go do this so like your wife and your children can experience the next level of dad or husband that exists inside of you that can come out. And man, it's been really fun since everybody's got married. It sucked that I couldn't talk about it for months to anybody in my office. And then when the first group came back, we had like these little meetings like in rooms like hidden from everybody where we could like say things and like, oh, don't let Robert hear you talking because he's going to know about, some of the experiences. But now like being able to talk about it as a group and share each other's stories and journeys is you can't pay for that.
Well, unless we've gone through Forge. Now there's three of us that gone through Forge.
Yeah.
Now we're talking in corners about the Forge, and we can't talk to everybody else in case they want to go. So, but it's great.
That's amazing. All right, guys, what's anything else that you want to leave the audience with before we sign off here?
I would say if you want to be successful, do it selfless, don't be selfish. Selflessness, if you give to get, make a little off of a lot. I've said that since the beginning. I'd rather make a little bit off of a lot of people than make a lot off of a little bit of people. And by doing that, I can help change lives, all while my life's changing as well. Don't let the dollar drive you, because if you do, eventually it will catch up. Put people over profit and care about the people that you're either servicing or serving or working with, to a manner that like, what the dog's name is, right? Like, what's going on in their life. Take a few minutes of your day and just say, how are you? But don't do it as rhetorical. Actually ask how they're doing and push for a little bit of connection, because then you're not just work buddies, you're family. And that's what's really helped us.
I love it. Well, hey, anything else? Robert, did you want to say anything else?
Well, I'll just give out a plug to Rise Up Kings. I would just say if you want your business to go from the next level, and you kind of alluded to it as well. I think everybody that sends and invests in their people, the return that you get is exponential. I can't stress how important it has been in our company to send people through that program and to have them come back changed in every pillar of their life, and the impact that it has on your company and also their personal life. It's indescribable. So.
Yep.
Love it. Well, don't go anywhere. I want to keep chopping it up. But if people want to learn more about who you guys are and what you do, where can they go?
We're designing a new webpage currently that's going to have a bunch of information. We've got a Facebook page. We've put some stuff out on there. We're ramping up kind of our socials a little bit more. Again, it was one of those things we lacked because we don't have to advertise. But yeah, we've also got I've got my own podcast. It's called Crumecast Podcast, CRUME. And I put a whole lot of stuff out there that's, I bring different people on. Me and Robert's done one, different businessmen and women, and a whole lot of not necessarily straight business. It's kind of a mix. It's cool. So you can check that out if you want to.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for coming on the show. Don't go anywhere. I want to chop it up, but thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.